Let's unpack this. Today, we're taking a deep dive into something, well, really practical, universal actually, and honestly, maybe a little intimidating if you're not prepared. Ordering coffee in English.
Hmm.
So, whether you're planning a trip abroad, maybe thinking about living in an English-speaking country, or perhaps you just want to sharpen those everyday language skills,
Mm.
this deep dive is definitely for you.
Yeah, it really is. And what's fascinating here is how a seemingly simple task like just buying a coffee, it can reveal so much about natural language use and cultural nuances too. This deep dive, it's going to give you the essential nuggets really to navigate it with ease.
With confidence.
Right. Our mission basically is to walk you through it step by step. From the
Yeah.
moment you eye that cozy coffee shop.
To that first confident sip of your drink. We'll reveal not just what to say, but kind of why native speakers use the expressions they do. So get ready. Imagine the smell of fresh coffee. Let's begin. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, I think.
Yeah.
Let's dive into a scenario, a relatable one. We'll follow Anna. She's just arrived in London, feeling pretty tired after her flight. You know how it is.
Oh yeah, jet lag.
Exactly. She spots a coffee shop, smells those roasted beans, and just whispers to herself, I need coffee. We've all been there.
Definitely.
But then she steps inside. It's cozy. There's quiet music playing. And then the barista smiles, super friendly, and asks, Hi there. What can I get for you? And Anna, she just freezes.
Ah, the freeze.
Yeah. Her mind goes blank. She knows some English, sure, but not quite what to say next, right in that moment.
That moment of freezing, it's something so many language learners, well, anyone in a new situation really, can relate to, and it raises a really important question. Why? Why do even common situations like this make us feel so stuck?
That's such a great point. Is it just fear of making a mistake?
Yeah.
Or is there more to it? You mentioned dynamic interaction earlier.
Absolutely. It's often that gap, the gap between knowing individual words, maybe some grammar rules.
Right, the textbook stuff.
Exactly. And knowing how to actually use them naturally, quickly, in a real-time back-and-forth conversation. It's less like a vocabulary test and much more about conversational flow, like a dance almost.
A dance. I like
Right, we're
that.
going to bridge that gap for you, help you find that rhythm.
Okay, so what does this all mean for you listening right now? Let's help Anna and help you speak more naturally. We'll break it down. Key stages. First up, just entering the coffee shop.
Simple, right, but important.
Yeah, you don't need much. Really, just be friendly. A smile goes a long way.
Nonverbal stuff counts.
And simple greetings. Hi, how are you? Or just good morning. Sets a nice tone.
Definitely.
And you can even ask questions before you order if you need info.
Good point. Like
Yeah,
what?
that's it. Like, hi, do you have oat milk? Or maybe, can I see a menu? Totally normal. Okay, next stage. The moment of truth. Ordering your drink. The most common question you'll hear, almost always, is going to be, what can I get for you? Or maybe, what can I get you? Something like that.
Right, that's the cue.
So your reply, you want it to be polite, natural, instead of just saying, I want a small latte.
Which can sound a bit, well, blunt.
Exactly. Remember those softer, more common ways to ask? We often use phrases like, can I get, I'd like, or could I have?
Those modal verbs, they soften the request.
Perfect. So for instance, can I get a small latte, please?
Just simple, polite.
Or I'd like a cappuccino with almond milk.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe, could I have an iced Americano?
Loads of options.
And if you're taking it away, can I get a flat white to go? That to go part is key.
And that can I get structure, it's super common. Probably the most frequent way you'll hear people order in casual settings.
It really is. Makes it sound less like a demand, more like a polite request.
That's spot on. It's subtle, but it taps into how English often works, preferring that slight indirectness in requests. It just makes the whole interaction smoother, nicer for everyone.
Right. And sometimes you need more info
Yeah.
before you decide.
Right.
Right. You're not sure what something is.
Sure. Happens all the time.
So asking questions before ordering is totally fine. Baristas hear this stuff every day. Like, what's the difference between a latte and a flat white? That's a classic one.
Very common. Yeah.
Or, do you have decaf?
Mm-hmm. Essential for some folks.
Maybe, can I get it with less sugar?
Customizing?
Or checking the cost, like, is oat milk extra?
Good question to ask up front. Don't hesitate. They expect questions. And mastering these simple questions and answers, it means you're not just translating in your head, you're actually adopting the conversational rhythm of English speakers. You're participating in that dance we mentioned.
Okay, so once you've got those basics down, you'll probably want to customize, right? Make it your perfect drink.
Yeah, get specific.
It's actually pretty straightforward. If you want to add something, just use with. Like, can I get a latte with soy milk? Or with an extra shot?
Ah, simple enough.
And to remove something, use without. So can I get it without sugar or without whipped cream?
Got it. With and without.
For special requests, extra is useful. Can I have it extra hot or extra foam?
Right.
And don't forget to say where you'll drink it. We touched on this, but just to be clear, to go means takeaway.
You're leaving with it.
And for here means you're going to drink it in the cafe. Find a seat, relax.
Good distinction. Sometimes they just ask to stay or to go. Same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's picture Anna again. Armed with this new knowledge, she tries again later that day.
Yeah.
She walks up, takes a breath, and says, can I get a cappuccino? Small? With oat milk, please.
Nice. She used the structure, specified size, added the milk, remembered please.
Yep. And the barista? Super warm response, of course. Anything else?
The upsell question, or just checking.
Right. And Anna, feeling more confident now, replies, no, that's all. For here, please.
Perfect. Clear, polite.
She paid, found a nice seat by the window, took her first sip. Success. Feels good, right?
That first successful interaction is a huge confidence booster. Huge.
So we've covered how you can order confidently. But what about when the barista starts asking you questions? That can trip people up too.
Oh, definitely. Understanding their common phrases is just as crucial. Keeps the flow going.
So what are the typical ones?
Okay, well, you already heard one. Would you like anything else?
Right. What does that really mean?
It just means, do you want anything in addition to your drink? Like a snack, a cake, a cookie, maybe another drink.
Gotcha. Anna replies.
Simple. No thanks. Or that's all. Or, if something catches your eye, actually, I'll take a croissant too.
Easy enough. What else?
They'll almost always ask, is that for here or to go?
Which we just covered.
Yep. So you just say, to go, please, or for here.
Okay.
Then there's size. What size? Or what size would you like?
And that's usually small, medium, large.
Usually. Or, in some big chains, especially American ones like Starbucks, you get those other names, tall, grande, venti.
Right. Tall is small, grande is medium.
Venti is large. Yeah, can be confusing at first, but you get used to it. Or just stick to small, medium, large, they'll understand.
Good tip. Anything else?
One more common one, especially in chains, your name. Or, can I get a name for the order?
For the cup.
Exactly. So you just say, it's Anna. Or if your name is often misspelled or misheard, you might want to spell it A-N-N-A. Quick tip here. If they always get your name wrong, honestly, just make up an easy one for your coffee orders. Lots of people do. Saves hassle.
Like a coffee alias. I like it.
Why not? But seriously, what's fascinating here is how these common back and forth phrases, these little questions and answers, they create a sort of predictable script. It makes the interaction smooth, comfortable. It's not just about what you say, but also anticipating and understanding what you're likely to hear back. Makes the whole thing flow.
That makes sense. It reduces the unknown. Okay, but sometimes the menu itself feels like another language. All those different coffee names.
Oh, absolutely. It can be a bit overwhelming. Let's demystify some of the most common ones.
Please do.
Okay, first, espresso. That's your base. Small, strong, black coffee, no milk, intense.
Right, the foundation.
Then Americano. That's just espresso plus hot water. It dilutes it, makes it milder, more like a standard cup of black filter coffee, but made with espresso.
Okay, milder. Got it.
Latte. Espresso plus lots of steamed milk. Very milky, quite smooth, usually has a little bit of foam on top.
Latte equals lots of milk.
Pretty much. Now, cappuccino. Also, espresso and milk, but the ratio is different. Generally, it's equal parts espresso, steamed milk, and a thick layer of milk foam on top.
So more foam than a latte.
Typically, yes, a distinct foamy cap. Then there's the flat white. This one causes confusion.
I've heard people debate this.
Yeah. It's similar to a latte, but usually smaller, maybe with a double shot of espresso, so it's stronger. And the milk is steamed differently, creating a very thin, velvety layer of microfoam, not thick foam. Smooth, strong.
Okay, smaller, stronger, smoother milk than a latte.
Ish. Ish. That's a good summary. Macchiato. Espresso marked. That's what macchiato means, with just a dollop or splash of milk or foam. Well,
Yeah.
still very coffee forward.
Just a hint of milk.
Exactly. Mocha, that's easy. Coffee plus chocolate plus milk, usually espresso, chocolate syrup or powder, and steamed milk, often with whipped cream.
Coffee and chocolate. Yum.
Then your cold options. Iced coffee is just brewed coffee served cold over ice, maybe with milk and sugar added.
Simple.
And Frappuccino, that's actually a Starbucks trademark, but the term is often used generically for blended iced coffee drinks. Think coffee, milk, ice, maybe syrup, all blended up like a smoothie, often sweet.
Like a coffee milkshake, kinda.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing these basics helps you navigate that menu board with a lot more confidence.
That makes so much more sense now. Okay, so we know what to say, we know what the drinks are. How do we actually sound natural and confident doing it?
Ah, the delivery. That's key, isn't it? Well, a really foundational piece, and we've touched on it, but it bears repeating. Always use please and thank you.
Basic manners, but really important in English service interactions.
Hugely important. It's almost automatic for native speakers in these situations. It just smooths everything.
Yeah, definitely. What else?
Smile, speak clearly, don't mumble, and honestly, don't worry too much about making mistakes.
Easier said than done sometimes.
I know, but they're totally normal. Everyone makes them. Even native speakers fluff their words sometimes. The barista isn't judging your grammar. They just want to get your order right.
True. Focus on communication, not perfection.
Precisely. And remember that phrase, can I get? Use it. It's so common, so natural in casual English for making requests.
Right, lean on that one.
And a great tip, maybe the most practical one, practice your order out loud at home before you go out.
With a little rehearsal.
Exactly. Say it a few times. Can I get a medium latte with oat milk, please? Get your mouth used to forming the words. It builds muscle memory, builds confidence.
That's such a practical tip. And focusing on that natural language, the practice, it all comes back to building confidence, doesn't it? Reducing that anxiety.
It really does. When the language feels more natural, less like you're translating every single word, it lowers that mental effort, that cognitive load we talked about. And that frees you up to actually engage, to be present in the interaction, maybe even enjoy it a little.
Yeah, making it less of a test and more of just getting coffee.
Exactly. And practice is what internalizes these patterns, makes them second nature over time.
Okay, so beyond the words themselves, what about, like, cultural stuff? Are there norms or etiquette things people should know?
Good question. Yeah, there are a few things that are helpful to be aware of in many English-speaking countries, especially the US, UK, Canada, Australia. Well, firstly, you typically order and pay at the counter, the till. It's not usually table service like in some European cafes, unless it's a full restaurant that also serves coffee.
Okay, order at the counter first.
Tipping. This varies a lot. In the US, tipping baristas is quite common, maybe 10–15%, or just rounding up, or $1 or $2 in the tip jar. It's generally expected for good service.
And outside the US.
Less expected, generally. In the UK, Australia, New Zealand, it's optional, a nice gesture if you received great service, but definitely not obligatory like it can feel in the States. Canada is somewhere in between, leaning more towards US tipping culture.
Good to know. Varies by place.
Definitely check local customs if you're unsure. Also, names on cups, as we mentioned, very common in chain cafes, less so in small independent ones. Don't be surprised if they ask.
Right. The coffee alias might come in handy.
Could do. And finally, personalization is super normal. Don't feel shy asking for exactly what you want. Half sugar, extra foam, low-fat milk, specific temperature.
People really customize their orders, huh?
Oh, yeah. Baristas are generally used to it, within reason, of course. Just ask politely.
Okay, so don't be afraid to ask for what you want.
Exactly. It's interesting, isn't it, how these small customs where you order, tipping, personalization, They're all part of the cultural context of that simple coffee transaction. Understanding them adds another layer to your communication. It shows you get not just the language, but the social context too.
It makes the whole experience less foreign, more comfortable.
Precisely. It connects the language to real life, to culture. It's not just grammar rules in a vacuum.
Definitely. And because language should also be fun. Let's look at some idioms, some cool phrases that use the word coffee.
Oh, fun. Yeah, there are quite a few.
Okay, first one.
Uh,
Wake up and smell the coffee. What does that mean?
It means like face reality, realize what's actually going on, especially if someone's being naive or ignoring something obvious.
Right, so you might say, he thinks he could pass the exam without studying. He needs to wake up and smell the coffee.
Exactly. A reality check.
Okay, how about coffee break?
That one's pretty literal. It's just a short rest period during work, usually to have a coffee or another drink.
Simple. Let's take a coffee break around 10:30.
Yep. Very common workplace term.
Grab a coffee.
This just means to get a coffee, usually quickly or casually. It's often used as an invitation too.
Like, want to grab a coffee after work? Meaning, let's go get coffee together.
Exactly. It implies a casual, quick meeting.
Cool. And one more. Full of beans.
This means someone is energetic, lively, maybe a bit hyper.
So the kids are really full of beans this morning.
Yeah, or after her third espresso, she was certainly full of beans. It connects to that energetic effect of caffeine.
Nice. It's fun how everyday things like coffee weave themselves into the language like that.
It really shows how language reflects culture and daily habits.
Okay, so before we wrap up, here's a little mini practice task for you listening right now. Try this. Imagine you're walking into that coffee shop right now. Say this sentence out loud. Hi, can I get a medium cappuccino with oat milk to go, please?
Say it out loud. Don't just think it.
Yeah, actually say it. Okay, now pretend you changed your mind. Say, actually, can I change that to a latte? Thanks.
Yeah.
Try repeating both of those, maybe 3 times each. Do it in front of a mirror if it helps. Get your mouth used to the sounds, the rhythm.
That physical practice really helps cement it.
It really does. That's how fluency builds. Small steps repeated. So now, hopefully, you feel much more equipped. You know how to buy a coffee in English. From walking in that door, navigating the menu, making your order, understanding the barista,
Yeah.
right up to sipping your drink with confidence. Next time you visit a cafe, you won't freeze like Anna did at first. You'll smile, you'll speak, you'll order like a pro, or at least feel a lot more comfortable trying.
And remember, it is absolutely okay to make mistakes. Really. Everyone does. What matters is trying. Putting yourself out there. Every attempt is a step forward. It's part of the journey.
Couldn't agree more. Until next time, maybe grab a coffee and practice your English.